Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Purpose Journey Counseling LLC Reloaded. I am so happy to be here. Look, we're reloaded this year. I'm just going to keep on saying that because there are some great things in store. We've got a lot of new stuff around us, new intros, new topics, new things that we're going to be doing this year. And I'm just so excited to be here. This is the first time I've been live at 7 a.m. since before Christmas. So good morning to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Purpose Journey Counseling LLC. Reloaded. My name is Dr. Natatu North, and I am the owner and therapist of Purpose Journey Counseling LLC, located in Cincinnati, Ohio. So we want to thank you for joining us. We are live. It is January 9th, Monday, January 9th, 2023. We are live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you're catching us at 7 a.m. or you watch this later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, or later in the year, good morning and welcome to you. Again, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And the YouTube link for this broadcast is posted on Instagram. So let's please like the video, like our different pages on the different social media platforms. Also, please follow us on social media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I said this a lot last year. I will continue to say it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even if you're watching us on Facebook or you're watching this on Twitter, or you're watching this, you're clicking on the link, to be on YouTube. That's cool. Please subscribe to Purpose Journey Counseling, the YouTube channel, and let's interact and engage in the comment section. I know in the mornings, typically don't have enough time to really respond to everything, but it's good because I can always go back and read it and respond later. So thank you. I do want to share this information every time we're together. Please store this information in your phone just in case you need it or someone else does. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline number is 1-800-273-8255. That number is 24/7. There is help available, someone to talk to if you need it or someone else does. So please save this number in your phone. There's also the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number is 988. You can also text that number. So please, again, store this information in your phone in case you or someone you may know or someone you may encounter may need this information. So again, thank you so much for doing that. We all have to be supportive to one another, but we also want to make sure we have the resources that we may need. So it is Monday, and we've got a new schedule. We've got a little bit, some different things we're trying. Same concept, but different names. So on Mondays now, we have our Monday message. So what is the Monday message for January 9th, 2023? And I want to start by saying you already have it in you. A lot of times we are just striving towards becoming something else. We're working towards doing something else. We look in the mirror and we find our flaws, or whether we're talking about our outward appearance or even internally, we look at things and we're like, oh man, I haven't gotten here yet. I haven't gotten there yet. This is not something that I feel like I'm capable of doing. This is not something that I do well. We get caught up in the stuff around us, and we fail to realize that a lot of the strength, a lot of the courage, a lot of the things that we have, or we're looking for, I should say, are already there. Already there. That fortitude, that determination, that even that peace and that joy, sometimes it seems like, or it feels like it's been taken from us or it's been destroyed, but it's actually already there. Those things in our inner being, sometimes those are the hardest things to see because they're so deep in there, deep rooted in there. Sometimes it's hard to remember that they're there. It's hard to realize that they're there. But the great thing is when those things are already rooted in us, when something's rooted, it's very, very hard to take it out because it's actually in there. It's not just floating around. It's rooted. It's taking root. It's getting its source from us. So it's already there. So I want to encourage you on this morning that you already have it in you. That thing you're trying to do, the new thing you're working out in your life, trying to make some plans and trying to do this and trying to do that. And you're kind of wondering, where am I supposed to get this from? Where is the determination coming from? Where's that push, that motivation? Where's that going to come from? It's in there. It's already within. And I also want to tell you this morning, stop focusing on what you're not. That's hard, because when we look at ourselves, again, not just on our outward appearance, but even internally, we look at ourselves, we do that self-reflection, we take some inventory, and we're like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that, I haven't gotten here. We start to look at those things, and that actually hinders us from seeing the things that we already have, or the people that we already are. So acknowledge what and who you already are. If you're not focusing on what you're not, and you're acknowledging what and who you already are, it gives you that push. It gives you that drive to be able to say, you know what? I may not be, like we said, I may not be who I'm going to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. I may not be where I'm supposed to be. I may not be doing all the things I'm supposed to do right now, but I'm a heck of a lot further along than I was a year ago or 3 years ago, or whatever the case may be. Last night in our podcast, #FromAChristian, #FromATherapist with Dr. Natatu, if you missed it, I suggest you watch it, because we were talking about finding purpose in the journey, being able to find that. This is part of that too, being able to acknowledge who you already are. Who has God already made you? What are those key characteristics and those strengths that you already have? We all have strengths. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what they are because we focus more on the flaws or the shortcomings. But let's acknowledge our strengths. Let's acknowledge our strengths. And even in the midst of when you're trying different things, sometimes you may not feel like you got a team of people around you. Sometimes it may not seem like anybody's paying any attention to what you're doing when you're trying to make moves and do big things. And it seems like, wow, is it pointless? Does it even matter? Are there people that are even benefiting from my life and what I'm doing, the seeds that I'm trying to plant, and all of these different things? I want to tell you this as well. Not everyone will support you, but cherish the ones who will. Sometimes it may feel like only a few people. Sometimes critical, key people in your life, you might expect them to do more. You might expect them to be more present, to be more vocal, to give you that feedback. And sometimes that might not happen. Sometimes it just doesn't. It doesn't, negate the fact that support is great. And some people, really should be more supportive. It doesn't mean that, you don't have a reason to maybe be a little frustrated. But at the same time, cherish the ones who will. Because the ones who will, the ones who are actually going to pour into you, the ones who are actually going to take the time to give you that support, to tell you that they see what you're doing, those are the ones you want to cherish and being grateful. Again, it's not focusing on what you're not and acknowledging who you already are, but it's also not focusing on what they're not, who they're not, what they're not doing, and focus on the people who are doing those things for you. And even as you transition, sometimes you're going to be moving from one position to another, one place to another. Some things are going to change in certain seasons of your life. Not everything is going to last. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you will move on. Sometimes it will be time for you to, pick up your mat and walk, if you will. Hey, sometimes it's just time to do that. And you could feel, like, oh man, like, does it really matter? Like, oh, was I really needed in this place, in this position? But understanding, as we talked about last night, that God is so intentional, and everything that happens for a reason. All the places that you've been, it's been for a reason. Even some of those places you shouldn't have been, you had to learn from those situations. And just acknowledging that some people will not miss you when you leave a room. Some people won't, but your scent will still linger. Just think about that. Just think about your scent, and yes, literally and figuratively. The rooms that you're in, the rooms that you've been in, your scent is still going to linger. Whether they miss you, whether they act like it mattered, whether it was a big deal to them or not in the moment, your scent will still linger. So I want you to ask yourself this morning, it's going to sound silly, how do you smell? We walking heavy this Monday morning. Yeah, because we got some things to do in 2023. We got some things to do. How do you smell? What's that scent that's on you? Is it pungent? Is it to cover up everything that's not right? Or you put a little dab of this, just to, enhance what's already there? How do you smell? Because if you're in these places, doing these things, you need to be able to check that. You need to be aware of what scent you're leaving, when you are in a room and then when you're no longer in that room. So again, I just want to encourage you this morning. There's so much that God has purpose for your life. There's so much. And even in the midst of things, sometimes it does not seem like you're going to be able to do those things. But what God has already planted in you is going, and you allow him to take root into your heart and in your spirit, is going to come out. So don't worry about where you're not right now. We start the new year. I know I don't do resolutions just because I just don't. But for those of you who may, sometimes we start off with these resolutions. We just start speaking over the year. And already within the second week of the year, we're like, oh my goodness, God, nothing that I said was going to happen doesn't even seem like it's going to work. But don't focus on what's not. Focus on what is. Focus on the changes that God has already made in your life. Those things that he's already working out, even behind the scenes, that maybe some things you can't see. Don't worry about who's supporting that journey. Don't worry about who's in your corner. Cherish the ones who are. Don't worry about who's not there. And don't worry about when you're not there if it matters to someone else, because guess what? Your scent is still in that room. So check it. Put this back up there again. How do you smell? If your scent is carrying with you, if you're leaving it, even when you leave that place, your scent's still there, you want to know how you smell. So that is our Monday message for today, January 9th, 2023. But as always, our tag for Purpose Journey Counseling is to be loving, be kind, be compassionate, and be intentional towards others as well as towards yourselves. So again, we thank you so very much for joining us this morning. According to our new schedule, we will see you Wednesday in 2 more days on Wednesday. Wednesday's a very special day. I'm not going to tell you what it is until Wednesday. But we will see you Wednesday, Lord willing, for Wednesday Wisdom. Lord willing, we will be live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendars. We got a new schedule. We'll continue to post the new graphics so everyone can be aware of our new schedule. So I'm still going to say, still love alliteration this year. Have a magnificent, marvelous Monday, and blessings.